And there is no vacancy tonight at the Oakland Zoo. First meeting in 12 days of 2 in this regular season with number 11 Duke and, of course, the host, Pitt Panthers. Wes Durham courtside. Great to be with Corey Alexander and, of course, the Hall of Famer. 2 at home in ACC play. Loss here to Clemson, and Corey saw it last week against Carolina, and away we go from the Pete tonight. The freshman Foster out front with McCain, the veteran Roach, Filipowski, and Mitchell there for Coach Shire's team.
See early, Duke wants to get the basketball inside to see how Pitt's going to go. It's a game for the Panthers.
Here's the Duke lineup, of course. You've got, we told you, Jeremy Roach, and then Filipowski and Mitchell inside, and Filipowski taps back home his own miss to open the scores. Filipowski, the rebound. McCain. Attacking on the dribble, and he will score. Early hoop for Jared McCain.
He's the veteran guy on the team, and he's the guy that was setting the pace early in the year.
But, Coach, Duke is going to switch everything defensively against the Panthers. How do you go about getting Henson his looks?
There's Diaz-Graham and a foul on Mitchell.
You know, Henson's got to get his looks. When he gets the, but it's the opportunity at the line. 19
free throws against Louisville last time out.
On the free throws from Guillermo Diaz-Graham, the older of the Spanish twins. 10 to shoot, and here's Foster. Back for Filipowski. On the drive in traffic, a little shot fake, gets him his second field goal.
He's getting in transition. Jeremy Roach gets a walk-up 3.
And a lead for Austin to catch and score. Low in the Panthers. Trying to attack.
Well, Coach, this is what you're talking about. Federico has Proctor on his back.
Fall away.
Yeah, and they got him guard against Filipowski, and they take the jump shot.
Look at Roach in transition, knock down a triple. 20 seconds. With Corey Alexander, the Hall of Fame head coach Jim Boeheim, Wes Durham. Carrington to pull up. Spins out, Federico resets for Pitt. Here's Henson from the logo.
Shot.
That's the best sign for the Panthers they could have gotten in this game.
Ryan Young has come in now. Filipowski works his way back to the scorer's table.
Coach Derek Coleman's on line 1. No, he's saying you don't throw them all out. You go score those, DC.
Well, Derek said he never got the ball unless he rebounded. So
and that's why he wasn't throwing it out.
Never thrown out.
Jalen Lowe in the corner. Carrington 3. Federico the rebound from behind Young. Here's Austin in traffic, had it wedged from behind on the block, and Duke in transition, and McCain launches and hits.
Jeremy Roach, these guys are all capable of pulling up on the break.
Biggest advantage of the first half of 8 now, Coach.
And nothing worse than you get a wide open 3 and miss it, and they go down and make a wide open 3.
Federico underneath the basket feeds Austin for the dunk.
A huge shot blocker.
Here's Young backing in on Federico and scores.
I'd say there was 1 step extra, but we're not going to get on the pitch.
You're posting Henson, but you don't want to post 15 feet away from the basket. Allow him to walk down, get a little closer, and then take advantage of his size against Roach on the block.
Filipowski against Diaz-Graham. That's a tough guard there, Coach.
But that's where, great job by Flip, moving his feet right there, but more importantly, staying on the ground, not jumping for the pump fake.
And that got knocked away from, and Blake's rubbed the dunk out, and Carrington going to be called for a foul here in the ACC.
That's a good foul.
It's a tough break for the young man from New Jersey.
They need to take more charge, not just be passive. They're the guys.
And he also wants them to be cocky on the road, which I love to hear him say that, because when you think about winning on the road in college basketball, you've got to have.
And the interesting thing there is Mitchell gets doubled.
Same the guy whose name's on the court and the guy whose name's on the building.
Yeah, you don't think they'd like better?
22-9. It's a 13-point lead for the visiting Blue Devils. Number 11 in the country. Looking for a second straight ACC road win. Nice fall-away bucket. Ishmael Leggett is the junior.
Roach at PVI, Paul the 6th. So these guys have had some WCAC battles for a long time.
10 to shoot for Duke. Foster trying to get baseline on Lowe. Found it through traffic. Filipowski's three. 9 for Flip here in the first. Diaz-Graham. Guillermo couldn't catch it and flush it. So with under 8 to play in the first half, the Blue Devils on the attack again. 4 threes from 4 different players, and there's Roach driving to the basket. And a timeout for Jeff Capel here. Jason and their family, and it's, Jim, you know this too, it's an endearing journey against just a ravenous disease.
Well, we have a platform. Jeff is using it, and that's what's so key. Use your platform, and he's doing that.
Jeff happy to see Blake Henson. Of course, Jeff Capel II had ALS. It was actually through a text. Jeff watched me post a post with an ALS walk, and so he reached out to me and asked me what information I knew about it. And I didn't know much other than the fact that, of course, Boston College Sports Information Director Dick Kelly passed from ALS, and that's what kind of taught me about the disease at first.
Federico from behind the line. 5 of their 11 field goals are triples.
And you see the zone defensively for Pitt, so you got to make sure you identify the shooters. And it's tough when you have Foster, Rowe.
Had it bounce out, Filipowski the rebound.
But Coach, when you are playing a zone against a team that shoots it this well, what are the principles that you have to stay involved with?
Well, first of all, it doesn't matter. They played man that time, but you've got to get out on the shooter.
From behind the line here in the first half. Pitt's got to find a combination of hitting shots and stops here in the final 5 minutes. Henson, fall away 3. Got it. 9 for Blake Henson. All triples.
Every one he gets is hard, except for that first one. I mean, it's hard to make those shots. Duke is just switching and really getting up into them, making them drivers, and they're having trouble doing that.
Filipowski out of the corner. McCain.
You know, we watched McCain, Foster, and Roach work out pregame. The 3 of these guys shooting together. Proctor also involved in that mix. But the ball rarely even hits the rim. You've got elite level shooters between these guards for the Blue Devils, and when they're shooting like this, they're extremely dangerous.
There's a foul. It'll be a Blue Devil. Being tied to this game tonight with Lowe, his godfather.
Jay Lucas and John Lucas, of course,
and ahead for Leggett.
You can't take him out. 2 fouls or not. You got to leave him in. You got to get him going.
And we're going to get a Duke foul. And if it's on McCain, no, it's Mitchell of Florida. And the front end of the 1-and-1.
That's not a bad trade-off, to say the least, for the Blue Devils. As Coach mentioned, you've got more options.
When you're as deep as Duke, you can have a guy Mitchell comes off 2 career highs, and now he hasn't really got anything tonight. But that guy is coming off a couple.
Scoreless first half so far for the freshman Carrington for Baltimore.
Coach, John Shire talked to us earlier today. He said that the guy that they had to stop was Henson. That Carrington was going to get his. He was going to find home.
Carrington tried to get it to Federico. Couldn't handle it. Here's Proctor with the Duke turnover from Pitt. A pull-up 3. And the follow is good. That's Jared McCain.
Jared, you know John Shire is a Bears guy.
He
is. Of course, my guy Jay Lucas is with me in the Cowboys. We know you're a Falcons guy. Coach Boeheim, who is your football team?
It was the Patriots, but I had to switch to the Bills.
Oh. No, you don't, Coach. We don't do that.
I don't do that. I'm a Bills fan.
All right. Now you're a Bills fan, apparently.
Yeah.
You're part of the Mafia.
Went to their practices this year.
There you go. Filipowski a deep 3. What a half for Filipowski, by the way. That's 17 now on 3 first-half triples.
But he's doing it inside and outside. This is the reason why Kyle Filipowski was the ACC preseason player of the year.
Henson a 3 at the horn. Bounds away, and Duke is going to take a 25-point lead to the locker room here. Big sparkling first half Duke had offensively.
And if you're Jeff Capel, you want to continue to see if you can keep Filipowski from being dominant in the post, but you've got to make sure that your guys stay closer to the shooters. I hope they fall in love with some and start missing.
Austin adjusted well after the double team. They didn't give him an easy shot.
Roach had 7 points, but also 4 first half assists. Filipowski a soft fall away. 18 or 19 now on his 8th.
I think all those attributes allow him to be very good at that level. You've coached more NBA players than me. What do you think?
I only coach the very best NBA players, so I'm not a good, a real good judge of that. When you coach the Olympics.
Mitchell, by the way, the breakaway dunk for his first field goal. Duke's got 20 fast break points in this ball game now, in addition to the hot three-point shooting we saw in the first half.
It's been an impressive performance by the Blue Devils. We talk about the NBA, a lot of scouts in the building. So watch this one as you see Jalen Lowe.
They're getting a little better looks.
Here's Roach back for Filipowski. Little help there. Finally, here's Foster. Soft jumper good. Boy, Caleb Foster came to Duke. Henson trying to answer for the Panthers and had it spin out.
Coach, it's hard to survive off of individual plays like that when you have to go and make a tough shot.
Yeah, the switching is just taking them out of their offensive game, and they're just having to go at guys. And those are hard shots, an easy basket. He's got to learn to secure that and get it in the basket.
Filipowski squares for another one.
Also got to learn not to hold that hedge too long if he's got to get back to it.
Yep, here is a sliding drive. Proctor couldn't finish. Young, who spelled Filipowski in there a moment ago. Now here's Mitchell baseline. Foul from behind by Federico.
Because we're watching this team grow.
Dominate gives your young guys an awful lot of confidence.
Tonight, Jim Larinaga and Miami visiting Virginia.
As a player alongside the great Dave Bing, how much pleasure did you take as a player going and winning road games?
It's huge.
That's the amazing part. I've had a chance to meet the great Dave.
That's another night.
That's another night. But you've been there before.
Oh, February 2014. We're coming up on the 10th anniversary of that.
It was right there, 20 feet from. Hey, there we go.
Carrington, first triple of the night. Yeah.
My assistant Troy Weaver told me we're going to win a national championship with this guy, Coach. I said, really? And he was right.
Yeah, he was right.
He was on point. And Coach, I'm going to say this, and not because you're here. I say it all the time. The best one and done in college basketball history, Carmelo Anthony. No question about it. You think about not just the numbers and everything that he did, but winning a national championship. Had pretty good players with him also.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Mack.
Yeah, Jerry Mack. Yeah. There's a jump shot. That's Jalen Lowe.
No one wins the national championship without.
Doesn't hurt you in that formula.
No, it only helps. And again, of course, I've truly learned a lot about the NCAA tournament and the selection process from I got to the right here.
We got in a couple years because we had a couple good road wins. Not just playing on the road, but beating somebody on the road. And net or no net, which I'm not a net believer, but you have to win games on the road if you're on the boat.
Jeffress the three, his 4th of the year. First points tonight.
Rim protector back there, but they don't get beat a lot from the perimeter. Their perimeter defense is pretty good. But no, I think they'll be fine.
There's Guillermo Diaz-Graham knocking down a three.
WD, that goes into what John Shire.
I hate to see that go away someday too. That's what's crazy about this whole realignment stuff.
Here is Guillermo Diaz-Graham. He draws a foul on the way up. You saw the idea of what he instilled into his team about playing this game.
As we got to look at John Shire. John Shire and the two guys to his left jeering at you, and they understand you have to be cocky to be able to come in and play in that fashion. I asked him, do you want us to use that word? Because, of course, the word cocky has a negative connotation to it. People used to call me that all the time. And so, therefore, but as you mentioned,
Filipowski hit a couple early. Roach hits one early. All of a sudden, that's contagious. And, Pitt couldn't hit anything, mainly because of the defense that Duke played.
Austin scoring there. The losses are Georgia Tech and Arkansas in the ACC-SEC Challenge. There's Carrington with his second field goal of the ball.
All the credit for the athleticism.
Yeah. Here is Carrington with 15 to shoot. One of the interesting pieces about this, and there's a runner and the scorer by Bub.
I like what John Shire is doing right now with Proctor and Foster on the floor together. These are the two guys. As Powell was able to step back and knock down a three, and we know he can score, elite scorer. But you see Proctor and Foster, these are the two guys that John Shire made it clear to us. We need more from both those guys.
Yeah.
They're getting consistent efforts right now from Roach and McCain, but the 4-guard lineup, 5 if you include Blake's in that bunch, he knows he's going to get from those guys.
Make it in Syracuse, but it's okay. We still love you in Syracuse, especially my wife.
I was getting ready to say, let's get down to who his favorite Boeheim is.
By far.
He's played like the ACC preseason player of the year that we were expecting for him to be. But most importantly, the defense, holding Pitt to 50 points on their home floor has been impressive.
Here is Stewart again and fouled by Guillermo Diaz.
Dominated the game on both ends.
Coach with a week off of a break.
Well, you played the best team in the league probably, and you know.
I believe right now he's just starting to get a rhythm.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, there's a reason he was preseason player of the year, and and you're right. It takes a little time to get yourself back after you have that kind of surgery and you're off for so long. And, you know, I mean, he's a really good offensive player.
Well, they are going to win in a commanding fashion tonight. 75-53 is the final. And John Shire picks up his 12th win of the year, his 3rd in the ACC, headed home to meet Georgia Tech on Saturday.
And don't forget, as what I said earlier, John Shire has done a great job.
Sure has. And tonight his team wins by 25.